This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Rayven Greer.
Hi, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
For those of you who are new, we are a queer podcast that focuses on the intersectionality of cannabis and the LGBT community, along with life, love, and whatever the fuck else we want to talk about.
Yeah. Whee!
So tonight, we're actually smoking on a new strain. We're smoking on Terrapin's cinnamon buns, or CNB, as the state of Pennsylvania has kind of tried pushing rules with medical marijuana that they can't really have food names written on them to kind of stop kids from trying to get into them, because that's why we don't have edibles in this state and why we can't have cartoons on any of the labels.
Yeah.
So it's not as enticing for kids to use cannabis. So a lot of strains have been going from like either abbreviations of what they are, like Girl Scout cookies, and now GSC.
That was an issue with Girl Scout, though.
Yeah, with the Scouts of America as well. And then a couple other things.
Yeah. I was like looking at all these abbreviations and I'm like, I understand why the state of Pennsylvania is like this and like why they do this, but like that's going to be confusing to remember when you're stoned because I don't do well with abbreviations sober. So like I can't do abbreviations stoned either.
Yeah, you're really bad with that.
Yeah, my brain's not like wired like that.
But yeah, you want to see how you feel about cinnamon butter? Cinnamon buns.
Oh, speaking of cinnamon butter, we went to freaking Golden Corral.
You almost said Cracker Barrel.
I almost said Cracker Barrel. Oh, we went to Golden Corral again. Oh my god, cinnamon butter and bread, yummy. But
anyway,
I really like this strain. It's nice and it's chill and it's similar to lemon G feeling. You know, like it's nice.
Yeah, when I went to our go-to dispensary, I was like, hey, I want something that's very high in limonene and very similar to lemon G, because I know that is stuff you like.
Yeah.
And I want to start doing more and more reviews of strains and products that you and me can both use.
Yeah. Because I get weird with some strains, like it makes me anxiety or it gives me a panic attack or something bad. So I gotta be careful. Did you find a bug?
I don't think so. I think he's just messing with his brother. Yeah, they're wrestling.
Wrestling boys.
So I have good news.
Okay.
For our listeners, and kind of an update on the Ravens' journey into the cannabis industry.
Mm-hmm.
I have the job.
I was so excited and so happy for you when you told me.
As of recording this is currently my last week at my current job.
Yeah.
And I will officially be, I don't know if I'm allowed to say who I'm working for.
Yeah, not until,
I get the okay to say it.
Yeah.
But I will say I do work now, or will be working in the cannabis industry.
It's so exciting.
I kind of want to talk about that, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Not to be like, oh, I'm big cannabis now, and but
you're so silly.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we don't have like video right now.
Yet.
Oh God, yet.
And
my hands are cold.
But there was a lot of stuff I had to do before I was even able to like get thrown onto the schedule. For let me get comfy.
Squeaky chair.
Yeah, squeaky chair. There was a lot of stuff I had to do though through the state before I could even get like attached onto the schedule and be like, okay, this is your official start date. The first thing I had to do was get a background check, which I was told by my employer or the hiring manager was like, you had a really clean record because there was nothing there. And he was like, not even a speeding ticket? I'm like, well, no, I don't have a license. So I never got a license. So how would I have a speeding ticket
Yeah, right.
if I never driven a motor vehicle?
How would you have a speeding ticket?
Exactly. So I kept my nose relatively clean, as far as the state's concerned. And then I had to get my fingerprints scanned. I had to take the 6th lesson module through the Pennsylvania's training site online, and basically was like, hey,
What are you doing?
huh?
What are you doing?
I was getting something to like kind of like to throw near the cats to kind of get them like one of the toys or something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to be loud, so I was going to throw like a soft mouse or see if like one of their soft mices I could throw
There's
over
little
there.
mices over here. I don't know where they all went. I swear I buy those cats so many toys and they just disappear.
Here's one.
Oh, there's the mouses.
But basically, there was these training modules. It's basically as if you're either going to be a grower, trimmer, or what I'm going to be, which is a cannabis advisor in a dispensary. You have to take these same courses, and it teaches you a lot. It teaches you how Pennsylvania does things, and I learned a lot of things, and learned stuff that for my next topic later, kind of explains what happened with the recall in a way. Because this training was free for to say. It's basically, hey, congratulations, you're going into this industry. Here's some training videos so the state knows you know what we're talking, what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like one big thing was when you go to work, it doesn't matter, especially if you're delivery of cannabis, don't wear marijuana paraphernalia at all.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, Be like, you don't want to be delivering a truck. The truck can't have any markings on it.
Yeah.
It's one of those, typically from the video, I don't know if they were just doing stock photos or videos or what, but I can't imagine a semi hauling pot
Jesus.
across the state.
Yeah.
Unless it seeds and immature plants to like a grower,
Yeah.
between growers. I think the shit that like the final products to dispensaries, probably in like a Ford Transit, like
Yeah.
Amazon uses.
Yeah.
Up to maybe the same kind of truck that UPS uses.
Yeah.
That kind of size. I can't imagine a semi with a full trailer doing that.
No.
It has to be locked. It's secured lockers in the vehicle. There has to be 2 people in the vehicle, and the driver has to stay in the vehicle at all times. Anytime there's just an ounce of pot in the vehicle. They have each person has their own cell phone provided by either the company they work for or the government, basically to be like, shit goes down, here's a phone, right, that we could track, we know where you're at and everything. Anytime something happens, they get into a car accident and they get into they hit a deer, and any unnecessary, anything that happens that makes them basically stop or get delayed, they have to contact the point A, point B. If there is an emergency, 911 obviously first,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Department of Health.
This is very interesting because I remember I applied to one of these positions out here actually.
Yeah, the grower or the driver?
Both the grower and the driver, and I wasn't quite sure how the driver works. So this is fascinating.
Yeah, it's basically you can't have any semblance. You just gotta like basically polo shirt, black pants.
And now, like you were telling me earlier, isn't this just kind of common knowledge stuff? If you search it up, you can kind of find this stuff.
Oh yeah. This is just, it's written in the legislation.
Interesting. I never
like
knew
the training
this.
thing is free to go online. You just kind of gotta find it.
Mm-hmm.
I got direct links from my employer. They'll be like, hey, you have to do this for us to have you on staff, but I can give you the link because I know you want to be a grower, so it'd probably just be easier for you to do the training.
Yeah.
Right then and there. But sorry, my back itches really bad.
It's all good.
Where was I going
I've
with
noticed
this?
this has a little bit of a creepy feeling when you smoke it.
Oh yeah, before
The
we go any
strain
further,
we're talking about.
we forgot to finish our review.
Oh, we did. Sugar.
You want to finish that real quick?
Yeah, it's a really nice. I like it. It's real nice. It's similar, like I said, to Lemon G. It makes you kind of thirsty though, and it does taste like freaking cinnamon buns. I'm not gonna lie, it's so good. Also, you know why you're probably itchy? We need to shower tonight.
Oh yeah. I would give this a 4.2 out of 5. It doesn't give me dry mouth. It does make me want to drink more though. Tastes really well. It's good head feeling.
It's very mellow to smoke too. It's not harsh.
But it is a creeper.
Yeah.
It is definitely a creeper.
It creeps up on you.
It's
not a you're smoking, then bam, you're high. It's a hey, you kind of feel it, and then you come in and sit down and you're like, okay, now I feel it.
What'd you give it?
Like a 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
That's Terrapin's cinnamon buns.
Yeah, we like you guys over there. Terrapin. Hi, shout out Terrapin.
Sorry, I know how we left that because we were talking about like how the strains and then started going into state stuff, and I kind of
got off in the sidetrack.
It went into my topic, so I kind of just went with it.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry about that, guys.
It's all good. It happens.
Going back to my topic, yeah, the delivery drivers can't have anything on them. And then there's it's very similar in other states too, but there's certain testings every company has to go through. And this is why the recall doesn't make sense to me, right? So you have each company when they begin, they're allowed to bring seeds and immature plants from wherever for the first 30 days of operations. After that, they have to stay only in Pennsylvania. So that is a good loophole for like companies that are California based or like Maytree or Terrapin, whoever is like Chicago based, and like some of these other companies are coming from other states into this state to make medical marijuana. And you're allowed 30 days basically get your initial supply outside the state, and then after that you're done. It has to either grow from you or get it from another grower. They didn't say how to get it, but I kind of looked it up on the side. Most places will actually breed strains, and they'll have certain strains that are reseeder. They'll have a certain section that are reseeder. So basically they'll grow them and they're just to continue making more seeds.
Okay.
But the state keeps an eye on those because when you get them, they all have to go into this electronic tracking system. And they designate those with a certain series of numbers. And those series of numbers cannot get input to the sets of harvests that go to final products. They have to either stay as they have to basically stay as reseeders. And then all the buds and everything that they use, I could be wrong. This is just kind of like speculation mixed with some of the stuff I found because there's not a whole lot of information, and obviously companies aren't going to give their secrets to how they do stuff.
Yeah.
But either you can't use any of the buds because they're going to have seeds.
Yeah.
Or they have to hardcore make sure they trim everything.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so basically there's a series. You get your seed. You start growing your seed, right? You start growing your plant. You grow your plant. The plant either as the seed or as an immature plant gets this ETS number. This ETS number gets tracked throughout the whole life of the product and only changes if the product changes. So say you grow flour and you take it to become resin. That flour is tracked into the resin, and the resin has it on file as this was this flour batch, but now the resin has this product batch number.
This is so scientific. I never thought about all the like logistics and stuff about all this
Yeah,
pot. Like, holy crap, this is interesting.
And it's really weird because like you think of it and it's like, okay, it's kind of like pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
but like worse because like all the tracking state they have for pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
But it's worse. It's kind of like controlled substance pharmaceuticals. They have to have all these like layers of tracking shit and everything.
Like whenever we go get Sudafed because we have allergies, all that shit. Yeah.
Because we have chronic sinus issues.
Yeah, and they want to make sure we're not making meth.
But the here's where the testings come in, right? So basically, when it's time to harvest, and you take the plant, and you take the buds, and you let it dry, you're supposed to weigh it. Then when you weigh it, you're supposed to weigh after it's dried for a projected dried weight variance.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when you dry it, you're going to lose moisture. It's going to shrink down. It's going to weigh a little less, right?
Mm.
You have a little wiggle room. I don't know how much because I don't know how much they do batches in. But basically, you're like, okay, the computer system is telling me on average, this strain loses this much water when it dries, so it should weigh around this. This is one of the big things where they start seeing, hey, you lost product at some point, and they have to go through an investigation.
Yeah.
Anytime there's damaged product or lost product, they have to report it. And that information should get posted on the Pennsylvania's Department of Health website.
Okay, so then it comes into this recall with the freaking vape carts, right?
Yeah, it will here soon.
Okay.
So that's the first series of tests where they'll take a chunk of the batch and a bigger chunk is taken in bigger batches.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they do the first testing here. This is where the flower is tested for either certain pesticides, fungicides, anything that basically would get thrown into the plant or the soil. This is what they're testing here. Anything that can happen to basically make people sick.
Yeah.
Now, if that passes, the batch will get sent to whatever is going to be used to turn into whatever medical product. Flour gets trimmed, oils, flour gets put into this machine, which gets high compressed carbon dioxide into it, which turns it into oil, which will then turn to either vaporized cartridges or nebulized cartridges. Sorry, just looking at the time.
Okay.
Get turned into either straight oil, tinctures, whatever. Then you have stuff that gets turned into resins and all that. So these final products get either a series number with an attachment of what the batch was, or that batch number is in part of the new series number for the final product. Then the final product gets set into a batch of tests again before it gets sent to the dispensaries.
Holy cow, they test this weed a lot, man.
Yeah, they test it twice. And then if that batch is confirmed is good, they will send these products to the dispensary as long as everything's clear.
Yeah.
Now, this is a good segue into my next topic.
God, this is high quality pot. You think about all this pot that like this isn't your grandmother's pot.
No,
like,
this isn't like
this isn't what my Aunt Sandy was smoking. No. This is not their kind of pot. This is cool and crazy how like advanced this is getting.
Now, I did look at an article that talked about this a little bit from the Philadelphia Insider or the Inquiry, I can't remember, by Harold Brubaker, titled "Pennsylvania's sudden move to recall marijuana vapes raises questions. Were these products harmful all along?" ? Now, before I go into my notes where it says here, when I learned a lot about this stuff, I learned some of the negative sides I see in PA's medical system. Now, here's the big issue here. When you're making the vaporizers and nebulizers and the oils, during that process where they can basically make the oil out of the flower, you're losing terpenes, you're losing flavor profiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you get some of those back?
You can add them back in.
You add them back in either from terpenes from nature,
yeah,
or other sources of natural terpenes like fruit,
yeah,
limonene. Get it from citrus fruit. I think limonol. It's found in
Yeah.
mangoes.
Yeah, it's found in mangoes.
You get
I
it from
freaking
there.
love mangoes. Oh, hi, Kitty.
Or you get it from other cannabis. You get it from the same strain, but you get it from, just kind of extracting it from the flower itself in a different way.
Yeah.
Um,
You supplement it somehow.
Yes. So here's the thing that is an issue with Pennsylvania's medical marijuana system. The list, I was going over the list again when I was kind of studying this stuff and then reading this article. Pennsylvania's Department of Health mirrors the FDA's list of things that are harmful when set into a vaporized or inhalant version.
Mm-hmm.
And remember how you and me talked about how a lot of this is just terpenes?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Because the FDA has all that on there because marijuana is still a Schedule 1 drug with no medical benefits. So basically, Pennsylvania's medical marijuana system and the Department of Health basically just went copy, paste, boom.
Yeah.
So you have all these lists of terpenes in cannabis that is found naturally in cannabis basically getting recalled because the question is, why was it recalled other than they basically kind of was lazy and now they're shooting themselves in the foot?
Yeah.
So in the article, it basically quotes, for years, Pennsylvania's Department of Health has allowed the state's medical marijuana companies to sell hundreds of vaporized cartridges that the agency now considers unsafe. Now keep in mind, we've been doing this for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
Last year was earlier this year. Was it this year? Yeah, it was earlier this year. It was in like late January, early February. Was the first official recall
Oh,
of
yeah.
anything in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, there's been voluntary recalls with cannabis companies because they'll get a test. I'm like, oh, excuse me. They'll get a test and be like, oh, we don't like how that looks.
Yeah.
We're going to take this back. And sometimes it's just like a little too much, like of a fungicide or a little too much. And they're like, not comfortable with that.
Yeah, too close for comfort.
Or, it's just something they just don't feel is right,
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is they'll get a complaint from somebody gets a bad reaction, and they're like, okay, we're going to recall that just to be on the safe side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
670 types of cannabis vapes, roughly around the selling price of $12 million.
Holy shit. That's a lot of pot.
That had previously been approved for sale. Now, keep in mind, it's passed both tests.
Yeah.
Was approved for sale after both tests.
Yeah.
For 7 fucking years. Was recalled in 150 dispensaries.
What the fuck?
The official reason for the recall was for harmful additives that, per the FDA, are harmful when vaporized. Now, keep in mind, some of this that are on this list, and a lot of it that was like listed, like, oh, Moxie's whatever strain, boom, added terpene this. It was on their list. Remember that?
Yeah.
A lot of these on the FDA are terpenes extracted from cannabis or other plants and fruits, excuse me, to be added back in later, which was approved to be added in by the state. It was approved previously for the state to say, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Someone interviewed some of the agency stated in an interview that there was some contamination in a product at one of the sites in regards to vaping of medical marijuana.
Okay.
Now, they said off the bat, okay, they had some contamination.
Then, yeah. Okay.
Okay. But they didn't say specifics. But a lot of the things that are like, oh, all these vapes had these added terpenes. And I'm like, you guys approved that. It's okay because you're putting basically shit back into it that you lost. That's like saying, oh, they added more cinnamon in this cake. That's supposed to be a cinnamon cake. Oh no, hang on. Oh, they lost some of the banana flavoring in this banana pudding after I got out of the oven. So what they do? They put more bananas in it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Then 20 minutes later, no, that's not okay.
Yeah, like they're tripping their own red flags, and it's not. They forget that they freaking approved this stuff.
Yeah. And it's a lot of it is because we copied and pasted the FDA's list. Now, the thing that some people said, there was a governor in, I want to say like Ohio or Texas, which was like, no, this is a good thing because we don't want kids getting into it because they shouldn't be trying to make these strains taste like cherry Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, aren't you the guys that are also backed up by menthol cigarettes?
Yeah.
First off, and second off, vape companies that, oh, I don't know, make cotton candy flavored vaporizers.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hypocritical, don't you think?
Yeah, there are a lot of states who have their feathers ruffled because shit tastes like candy. And so New York for a bit was only like, I used to be super into the vape news and everything when I used to vape, and I don't anymore. I quit.
Proud of you, by the way.
Thanks. But certain states have their panties in a wad and their feathers ruffled because shit tastes like candy and kids want to do it, and that's why they think kids want to do it and everything else. And like, they try to restrict the flavors first, right? So it's only straight menthol, just the menthol flavoring, nothing else, or like a tobacco flavor, nothing interesting. And then they figure that doesn't work, so then they move the restriction age up, and PA has done the same thing.
Yeah, it's 21 now.
It's 21 now. When I turned 18, I was able to buy myself a pack of cigarettes and lottery tickets, which I did both at the time. Fun fact, I bought a scratcher today. Didn't win jack shit, but I thought I'd try.
I was thinking of doing that recently. But like, here's my thing, right? I was in the military at 18. I literally graduated high school. 2 weeks later, I went into the military. If I can fucking die for this country, I think I deserve to have a smoke and a drink.
Yeah, you can't even fucking have a beer. I think we should do what Canada does, and it's just like under a certain percentage when you're 18 at 21 hard
Oh,
shit.
you mean like England?
Yeah, that shit.
Like freaking when you're 16.
Yeah.
Right up until you're 21, all you're basically allowed to have is wine coolers and summer shandies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fine. Or at least that's the way it used to be when my mom was a kid. I don't know how it is now.
I feel like that's fine. And also, some states do have weird laws about like, hey, it's okay if it's like your parents are there, or a guardian. Pennsylvania's not one of those states.
No. Way too buttoned up for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, PA, it's really weird with the way the system went. And I think I talked about all I could talk about that. Hopefully it's nothing kind of mouse. Maybe they did find something, but the problem is, per the training videos, they were supposed to report exactly what they found, what contaminant they found, right? Mm-hmm. If they were quoted as saying they found a contaminant, they're supposed to say. But I reread this list, and all it looks like is just fucking flavorants and terpenes reintroduced back into the strain that was lost during the extraction process.
Yeah, and they're just written ever so slightly differently. It's just fucking,
it's splitting hairs.
Yeah, it's your fucking splitting hairs. Knock it off.
Because like I looked up shit, it's like what's in vapes that is okay, but is also harmful to people, and I'm like, have fucking carcinogens in some of them, like fucking Juul pods have carcinogens in them.
Yeah, Juul pods are made by fucking big tobacco companies,
and they have carcinogens in them, and yet they're okay.
Yeah, those are fucking horrible.
Yeah, tobacco gets away with like a lot more shit than marijuana does, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, and then they're always on the fucking vape companies too. But down at the end of the day, it's all fucking money, because who's making more money? Who's in whose fucking back pocket?
Exactly. So that's all I got on those topics.
Good place to take our little break. We're getting here.
Very good place to take our break. We will be back.
Yeah.
We don't have a sponsor yet, but here soon we are getting a pretty cool swag bag.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna shout them out on that the episode that after we get that. And we actually might live record it, and you might see Alex's face.
We also still didn't finish our review of the Terrapin.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gave it a 4.5, and I gave it a 4.2.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm so.
We finished it. We went back to it.
Okay. Cool.
All right. See you in a bit. And welcome back. Oh, got squeaky chair.
Hello.
Oh, sorry about the squeaks. Yeah, I'm all out of my topic, so
I had a couple things. I had a short thing first because this happened briefly after we recorded the last podcast.
the last episode.
Excuse me, the last episode of the podcast, right? So you got in the cupboard to get something in the hall closet, and we were making pretzels. I think that's what it was, and we took the pretzel, like the bread machine, out, and there was catnip underneath it. You hid the catnip from me because I like to smoke pot, right? That's well established, right? And I want to get the cats high with me, so I will give the cats catnip when I smoke. So I'll have high buddies, right? And Raven hid the catnip from me, so I wouldn't get stoned with the cats anymore. She said she didn't, but
I didn't.
I feel like you did.
I didn't. Not on purpose. But I will say, Bear is a nice, calm boy, cuddly when he's on catnip. Vinny is. I don't know if it's because he's still a kitten.
Or what? But he's fucking go zoomy zoomy boom boom.
He's like a crackhead in Florida.
Florida man right there. Holy shit. But yeah, that's what I also wanted to make our cats a crocheted cat joint and fill it with catnip. It looks like a joint, and it's filled with catnip. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And get them some meowie-wana.
Meow. Excuse me. It's a weed cough, I swear. So I had to. Speaking about marijuana. What is he doing?
I don't know.
He's in the sink.
Why?
I don't know. Should I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
So I was around this time is whenever I got my medical marijuana card. And so it was time for me to renew. And I was, talking to my friends over at the Greenbridge Society. I had the small conversation of like, yeah, I'm renewing with you. Like, this is my third time. Get the discount. Super cheap. And I went to go renew my state fee. Like, I paid my yearly state fee, right? And I
don't know how, but he hit his bell.
How in the heck?
Oh no! Was either his bell or I accidentally hit the back of my hat with the little thing?
Yeah.
Because I went to kind of just head him off with my hat, and I put my hat in the way, and he kind of ran into the table
Oh my goodness, so silly. But anyway, I was talking about how I went to go pay my state fee, my yearly state fee. You know how you pay the state to renew your card, right? Well, remember the last couple of years, it's been if you qualify for Medicaid, like we do, or like SNAP, food stamps, stuff like that, right? State assistance, that you would get a reduced fee when it came to your card to basically print your card, right? This year it was free. And I was curious, so I asked my friends over at the Greenbridge Society. I was like, hey, I went to go pay everything before the actual appointment where I talked to my certifying doctor, and I didn't know anything. And she was like, yeah, so there are new bills going through the Department of Health, and they're coming in 3 waves. The first 2 waves are already in effect right now. So the first one will eliminate annual ID card fees for eligible participants in regularly existing Commonwealth financial hardship programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, and Medicare. So old people stuff, food stamps, and low income stuff.
Yeah.
And then the second wave is to eliminate all background checks fees for eligible caregivers. So you, as a caregiver to someone who has medical marijuana, as for the state of Pennsylvania, you have to get a background check. Much similar to how you have to get a background check to work at your dispensary, right?
Yeah.
And number 3 is what is really interesting that they told me about. And I double checked also, they got all their facts straight with the state's website. I read the state's website. Some of this is verbatim from there, but it was verbatim also from the conversation I had with the lovely lady on the phone in the morning for Greenbridge. This third one caught my eye. I was like, it'll distribute a to-be-determined benefit amount per funding period per eligible patient for medical marijuana. Basically giving you an allowance to buy your pot.
Huh.
So it's basically that when I heard that, I was like, it's freaking food stamps for pot. it's SNAP for pot, right? And as of February 24th of 2022, we have more than 729,000 patients and caregivers registered for the program, with one of our 23 seriously medical conditions, like PA's list, right?
Yeah.
So
And
this
we
is a
make
lot
two
of
those.
this is a lot of people, you know. But yeah, that's something I thought was interesting. Is like that I've kind of kicked the idea around, like super briefly. I was like, medical pot, cool, right? Is my insurance, is my health insurance going to cover it, right? Is my state health insurance going to cover it? Hardy hard, no, it's not. Now it fucking might.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fucking cool.
Now, here's my thing, right? What are they going to call it? Because SNAP is Supplementary Nutrition Assistance Program, right?
Yeah.
What's the pot version going to be? Supplementary care. Wait. Cannabis Related Assistance Program. Crap.
At Tom Wolf, make this happen.
Also, I would like to say, Phineas got on my lap, and then I went to pet him, and he just said, "You know what? No," and jumped off.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of funny.
Rude.
So rude.
So rude. Also, I'm still confused on what happened earlier when I went out. So to kind of give people context how dumb my cats are, and I love them to death. Don't get me wrong, but Phineas is not the smartest boy in the world.
Bear isn't either because he's half blind and can't see.
Yeah, he has bad depth perception, but that's not his fault. He's got a scar in his eye.
Yeah.
But Finny, he ain't real smart either.
No.
So I was trying to head him off because he got into a sink, and I'm kind of like making sure that he doesn't have something in his mouth, right? Is what I was trying to do. He didn't look like he got anything in his mouth, but I kind of wanted to like slow down so I could see what he's doing with his mouth. Because I saw his lips licking,
yeah,
his
like
face.
he was eating
in,
something,
or in the water. I just want to make sure it's at least just the water. If it's the water, I don't care. So I'm in between the legs, but I'm closer to the right side of the legs, and I put my hat down to kind of like extend my reach because I wasn't gonna reach him enough.
Yeah.
And the back of my hat, to adjust it, there's like this little metal piece, and he kind of ran into the inside of my hat, and I just hear a ding. From something hitting the table leg.
That's funny.
And I wasn't sure if it was my hat thing or his bell. And I look at him, make sure he's okay, and he just runs off. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
That's funny as fuck.
And
Why am I laughing?
I'm pretty sure you could hear it in the recording.
I'm pretty sure I heard it over here, sitting here. That's funny.
But yeah, I'm like, what the fuck happened?
It was Glitch in the Matrix moment right there.
It was one of those like moments where if he just happened to put his head down a little like lower, he was gonna put his face through the back of my hat.
Yeah.
And kind of turn himself into a turtle. Which would have been cute.
That would have been adorable. Oh my god.
Yeah, cats are weird.
Cats are really weird.
I know, I'm always like self-conscious that I'm like mean to him.
Yeah,
but
he's also an asshole and he's a cat, so people understand.
No, but like I always feel like because I put my hat in front of him and I'm like, I'm being mean, and then I'm thinking, wait, I'm just trying to block his path, and my arms aren't long enough to reach at that moment.
I'm just trying to get him, and I have my hat and I'm just going bloop. Good night.
Yeah, I mean he didn't have anything in his mouth, so
yeah.
I don't want people to think I'm mean to him.
No, honey, he's a kitten. We're trying to kitten train.
I know.
That's always a difficult thing.
But I don't do a lot to him that's mean either.
No.
Like, even when I'm like, I kind of just put his nose in it.
You'd be like, no. But yeah, kitten training is hard. Everybody knows. People who have cats, everybody who listens can probably agree, kitten training is very difficult.
I also just realized it could have been my ring that hit.
Could have also been your ring that hit the. Yeah,
I could have hit it and not realized.
Could have been you.
Something hit something. Something hit that leg and went ding. And I'm still very confused at it, and I'm too stoned to remember what exactly happened.
I don't know.
Because it was like that fast.
Yeah.
Do you have any other topics, Libby?
I had a couple other things. Kind of while we're talking about aside things, we did it again tonight. I have an affinity for listening to Eminem while I'm stoned, and I'm not sure why.
It's just listen to what stoned?
Eminem.
Oh, Eminem.
Eminem. I don't know why I always like to listen to him high. He sounds a lot better high. I don't know. When I was in college too, out here, like freshman year of college at RMU, I listened to him stoned all the damn time. I don't know why I feel like Eminem is so good stoned.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
it's just the beat.
I think so. Oh man. Oh, that was my other little side thing I wanted to talk about. But I do have another article. Give me a second. I am a thirsty boy.
Hydrate break. We're not actually stopping for this break. We're just taking a quick swig of our drinks.
Would you get down from there? Please and thank you. Whew. Okay. So, there was an article on marketwatch.com, which is basically like watches the stock markets and different businesses and how they're doing and stuff, right? Jointly, we've talked about them before in here, that app that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
It's like a weed journal, right? They're offering workers a novel perk, reimbursements for weed purchases. The title of the article. What are you doing?
It just reminded me of someone I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's the title of the article. Jointly will reimburse employees for up to $150 of cannabis purchases per month. Jointly's co-founder figures that the cannabis benefit will help hire about 25 employees by the end of the year. Jointly was founded in 2018, and they have 10 people on its payroll as right now. But they plan to bring in 25 more employees by December 31st. We have to compete against Amazon, Google, and Facebook for the same talent. Jointly's CEO and co-founder David Cooey told MarketWatch, we can't compete on price because those companies have more money. So they decided to try to plan up this perk of working for Jointly over these other people that might draw the correct kind of talent to them. And they were like, oh, gym membership. No, that's not really us. And then they were like, weed reimbursement. That's us. That's what we do, right? So they use it as an incentive to attract good talent. It also goes along with their focus on the experience of cannabis and providing a guide for people whenever they use it.
That's awesome.
Right? That is so cool. So if you work for Jointly, like you get $150 worth of legal weed purchase reimbursement for a month. Like that's per month, every month when you work for them. Yep. You get a weed allowance.
And in California, it's like a lot cheaper than here.
Yeah. And they're based in LA.
Wow.
Jointly is based in LA. Like, that is a lot of pot.
Can I just say that at my new job, I get 25% off?
That's freaking great.
Now, I am already getting 20 because of my veteran status.
So, I'm so sorry about all this chair squeaking. I'm
it's
trying to get
fine.
comfy. Anyway, yeah.
Real quick, someone else that kind of shouted us out and kind of messaged us on our podcast's Twitter.
Yeah.
Buddy Jane company messaged us and kind of talked to me a little bit the other day while I was out looking at the mall. I was messaging them. You know, I've heard about them before from our friends over at the Cool Nerd Weed Show. I saw on either their Instagram or Twitter page. I can't remember. It's been a few weeks since I saw this. They were talking about Buddy Jane, and I looked it up. Ironically enough, some time passes by, Buddy Jane messages us, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
They invited us, so basically, and I'm quoting the message they sent us here. Buddy Jane is an alternative social platform which works much like Instagram, but purely for the cannabis movement. It is a safe space for the community and businesses to share without worry of getting flagged or deleted for cannabis-related content. Social, 100% cannabis-related. Find like-minded friends, podcasts, or live stream videos. Find legal dispensaries and deliveries with recreational, medical-grade cannabis, CBD, and hemp. And earn cannabis discounts and loyalty rewards. Now,
sounds so fucking awesome.
Right? Now, here's the issue. They're in the beta test and they're allowing a lot of people early access to it.
Yeah.
Currently only on the Apple marketplace.
Shoot, we need an iPhone.
Because they invited, I still have the link for it. And it's a lot of because of Apple basically being, look, we're not going to stop cannabis shit.
Yeah.
We're not.
Apple, like I had talked about that on the podcast a
like,
couple episodes. Apple's like, yep, we're just going to casually take, we don't care.
And
we're good with them.
So Buddy Jane's having an easier time getting on Apple's app store than it is on
Than
Google's.
with Google, yeah. And I don't remember Google saying much of anything about
one
cannabis.
way or another.
Yeah.
But they did tell me that they are planning to go fully online here soon with maybe some early access online and early access on Android.
Okay.
Or they're just going to fully launch it when they go on those two platforms.
Yeah.
We're still going to get early access stuff because they did message us before and we just didn't have the way to get to it.
Yeah.
So they're going to give us some of the extra stuff with it when it gets launched, either on Android or fully.
This is so cool.
And I gave them our email, and
Yeah.
basically they were like, "Okay, cool. We'll let you guys know when
This is so neat.
when it's going to be able to be on Android."
Holy
I'm like,
shit.
"All right, cool."
Holy shit, this is so cool. We're like making connections, boo.
Yeah, I know.
This
It's
is so
really awesome.
cool.
26 episodes in 6 months.
Of doing this
Yeah.
podcast.
2 days ago was officially 6 months.
Yeah, that's cool.
September 20th is when our first episode was published.
Nice.
Today is March 22nd. That's 6 months
Yeah.
of us working in cannabis as podcasters.
Yeah, podcasters.
And we're making all these cool connections. And it's just the cannabis side. There's some cool connections we're making too on the LGBT side as well.
Yeah.
I just feel bad I haven't had any topics for LGBT stuff lately.
I really haven't either, other than we were talking about fucking Florida
and Texas. That's the biggest things right now.
Yeah, and fuck the both of them.
Oh, actually, I do have something I can bring up.
Oh, yeah?
Because I shared it on my Facebook earlier today. So right now there's some big issues going on with what's her face? I'm trying to find her name in this article. Basically, the trans athlete who won that swim meet.
Yeah.
In college swim stuff. Is basically getting flack for being a trans athlete. Now, I unfriended one person on Facebook because I'm not dealing with it. I'm not correcting ignorance after that last friend who was a lesbian, mind you, that did that shit.
Yeah, I deleted a bunch of people for that shit too.
She literally won by 1.75 seconds.
Yeah.
And people were saying she was like 462nd out of like all the other men in the men's swim meets, but then like jumped to number 1. This was the first time she won a meet since transitioning, and she's had 20 to 30 meets between transitioning and now. Yeah. This is the first time she's won one.
So yeah, that she's not having any kind of advantage over anybody else like they think she might be. They're just being transphobic. That's all there's.
She won by 1.75 seconds. And they test trans athletes to see if there's like a huge testosterone like gap in between what it's supposed like of the other women and everything.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about this a little bit before, how certain athletes have unfair advantages naturally.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps, bigger lungs, larger wingspan, naturally, big ass feet. Great build for a swimmer.
Yeah.
Horrible build for a linebacker, though.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like being a linebacker. He likes to swim.
Yeah.
So, his body has an advantage to that. Yeah. You're not going to put Michael Phelps in his own category.
No.
And a lot of people are using that as an example. Probably beating a dead horse with that example, but it's an accurate example. Everybody's body is different. Now, my favorite thing is a lot of people will share a picture of this cis woman and saying, look at these trans athletes. And she's literally gone on record being like, you do know I'm a cis woman, right?
Jesus Christ.
And a lot of people are like, motorbike, racer on motorbike wins Tour de France because he identifies as a bicycle.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how that works. And I hate that shit.
I hate that shit too.
It's just transphobia.
It really is.
And I feel like that's all of our side of the LGBT side lately is there's no good news. It's all
the
bad
same
news.
horrible shit. Yeah.
So I don't want us to be like, oh, the gay side's always bad. It's always bad. I want to find some good, but just right now in the States,
It's hard.
It's hard. One of my coworkers, I don't know if they were comfortable with me saying their name, so I'm just gonna call them by their first initial Y. Y had said that they, as far as I know, they are a lesbian. They're in a gay relationship. I know that.
Okay.
I don't know how they identify. I'm just guessing. But they were talking about the whole trans athlete thing, and they were saying this is fucking stupid. And I'm like, oh
No.
friend, I had someone I haven't talked to in years since high school, who's a teacher and a coach.
Yeah.
Messaged me, asked me like it wants some questions. I'll call them E because we went to school together. E messaged me and was like, hey, I have some questions. You've seen where I grew up. I know you're not originally from this area, but you've seen what kind of podunk town we lived in and we graduated from. You're like one of the only trans women I know. Is it okay if I ask some questions? I said, I can tell you anything about the transgender side. I am not an expert whatsoever at all about sports. I'm just learning how football works.
Yeah, I'm schooling you on football and baseball, and we're gonna watch hockey, and we're gonna do all the Pittsburgh sports, which I'm even surprised that the Pirates are even like playing this year,
right?
Because there's not a lot of money left in sports anymore. I was just talking to a customer about that the other day. There's not a lot of the turnout has not been as good. They were talking about it on I think it was like one of the local newscasts before one of the games one night. On my way home, I was listening to the radio, right? The Pirates were in danger of not even having a season this year because
the players were on strike because they weren't making enough money.
Because there weren't enough people coming to the games and there wasn't enough profit in anything because COVID.
Yeah.
And then people are also just like, there's other things I know I can do that I would rather do.
To watch a baseball team lose an entire season.
Exactly.
Because I'm not gonna lie, ever since I started,
the Pirates suck ass, but I still watch their games.
It's like being a Liverpool fan in England, a fan of Liverpool Football Club. We're not the greatest, but you know what? Fuck you, Manchester United. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Basically, the way Mom explains it is Liverpool's the Cowboys of the Barley Cup.
Same diff. Same thing with baseball over here.
Yeah, the Pirates of the Cowboys of baseball.
We know the Pirates suck. We still love them.
They're our team.
Yeah.
So
I think in my lifetime, since I've started watching them when I was like 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 25. I've seen them win maybe like 5 times.
I don't think I've ever seen them win. I remember, this is going to hurt me a little. My late friend Wes, I remember when I started working with him is when I started hearing about how the Pirates suck.
Yeah.
And that gives you a time frame of like when I started here. And I started working with him like a little before you and me got together.
Mm-hmm.
So, I miss him.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know him and I weren't really close, but I miss him too. He was just a nice person to be around, you know?
Yeah. I'm not going to cry on this podcast. Not again.
Not again. Not this time. Nope.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
That was pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got. That's
okay.
What I was rolling with today. You have anything you wanted to talk about? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
That's all yawns. Woo! Oh boy. So many yawns.
I will say there is one good thing. Disney is allowing a same-sex kissing scene in the new Buzz Lightyear movie.
Nice.
To be not cut. Nice. Because it was originally planned to be cut. Because of all the backlash and everything of animators in Disney.
You know what I learned about Disney on TikTok? I've been back on TikTok.
Yeah.
Recently. But you know what I learned about Disney on TikTok?
Huh.
They edited out a lot of his. Disney was a smoker all the time, 24/7, like 365.
Yeah, they edited out a lot of his smoking
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck?
to make him more family friendly because so
Jesus.
kids didn't smoke.
Yeah,
That's what killed him.
yeah, smoking.
It was his smoking because he got a heart attack. I'm pretty sure is how he died, and that heart complications from all the smoking.
Yeah, fuck.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah.
No, but like one of the animators that worked on the Buzz Lightyear movie for Pixar literally told like is quoted when he sent a message for Bob Chapek,
Mhm.
and when he got interviewed about it, from like other news sources and stuff, he was like, "How can we be a company that is inclusive and try showing all these people of the world and try showing how the world is, but then we say no when it comes to LGBT stuff, then turn around and say yes, we include LGBT stuff, but we won't show it to be inclusive."
Yeah, freaking Disney.
But apparently,
I'm sorry about all the chair squeaks.
that's all right. Apparently, that kind of hit Bob, and now Disney's starting to hopefully go into the other direction, which I hope is good because I really want to see Turning Red.
But they also just donated money to those Don't Say Gay things.
No, see, here's the thing: is they didn't donate, and I'm reading more into it. They donated to the backer, the guy who wrote the bill, and the people who support it before the bill was introduced, but kept quiet when the bill was being introduced. And now because Bob Chapek was like, "Look, I fucked up," because he got called out on his shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's we're kind of, because a lot of people are super pissed off at Disney, kind of like trying to save our asses or not, but he circled back and saying we can't do this. And I think a lot of it is because of people like Dan Terrace and this person who works in Pixar was kind of like, you do know, like, a lot of us are gay and a lot of us are like trying to make representation for the like what we didn't fucking have.
Yeah.
And now, you want to be this beacon of inclusivity, fucking let us do our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, Cartoon Network had a lot of issues, mostly because of shit overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Like the UK version of Steven Universe got heavily edited and censored. But Cartoon Network's, been good, been bad with it. But it's a lot better than other places. Nickelodeon, Legend of Korra was really bad. They kind of fucked shit up with that, but kind of made up for it and grew with the Loud House and the Casablancas, the spinoff show they had. But like then you got like a gay and Rachel couple on the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, and I'm like, what, Disney? I mean, where are you going?
Yeah, like pick a fucking lane, please.
Are you gonna be inclusive or are you gonna not be inclusive?
Just pick a fucking lane.
You can't try having both your hands in the pudding.
Yeah, you can't
eat it all.
You can't. It's like driving on the road. You can't take your fucking half out the middle. Pick a lane, one way or the other.
So, I don't know. See, I wish they would pick a lane because like Chick-fil-A, I know to stay the fuck away from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know whether to stay the fuck away from Disney or not.
Yeah. So
I don't know what to do with Disney.
Or like Harry Potter. Real quick, because we got like a minute left.
Did my mom send you that thing about what's her name? Crap. The chick who wrote for the Daily Prophet.
Rita Skeeter?
Yeah. How she's kind of the
Okay, we're gonna go a little into double overtime on this one. All right, Rita Skeeter, lead it on me.
So fucking mom sent me this TikTok, right? And it was like, you think that J.K. Rowling's transphobia didn't leak its way into fucking Harry Potter? You're wrong. Because the way Rita Skeeter is freaking written in the books is she has like manly hands. She's very tall. She seems to have a lot of makeup on because she has kind of masculine features she's trying to hide, right? And she's always in places that she is not welcome or wanted. and I'm just like, fucking, and this is why some people, and I'm starting to be like this too, are having problems separating the art from the artist.
Now, I will say this. My biggest issue isn't even before the transphobia stuff started. I started having a little issue with Harry Potter because I started seeing one very blatantly, very obvious, in my face issue with Harry Potter, and mostly how it was written by J.K. Rowling. And even if she didn't mean to, that these characters are very deeply rooted in the way she was written and very copied a lot of other stuff that was very badly written of anti-Semitism. The Goblins of Gringotts Bank. Big nose, short stature, very money grubby, hungry. If you're not telling me that this is a bastardization cartoon version of Jews, I cannot tell you what the fuck is. No, don't get me wrong. Part of it is society. This has probably been embedded in society for a bit too, because you find some people down south that will find this shit like that and just think it's normal. But it's fucking not.
No. Jesus fucking Christ. God.
So yes, goblins typically have been drawn with big noses. I get that. I do get that. But why make them money grubby? That's the issue. That is the fucking issue. You should have said that, you're in Europe. You should have been, maybe this doesn't sit well with me.
Maybe she shouldn't fucking do this,
And it wouldn't be so bad if that's not the entire portrayal of goblins in the entire series. It's just that.
Yeah.
And the worst one is fucking Hook Fang, and the one that wants the sword of Gryffindor. Because it's like, oh, I can make money off of this. Oh, I can be rich off of this. I want the sword of Gryffindor fucking door.
Yeah. Fucking Jesus Christ. God. She's so fucking racist too. She's so fucking racist. Like, and with
Are you gonna bring up Cho Chang?
Yeah, Cho Chang.
Okay.
Fucking
now, a lot of people have had issues with that. A lot of people are like, okay, Cho Chang, Korean, Chinese. Like, okay. I will admit, probably not the smartest move by her on that one. But, I will say one thing to not fully defend her, but to kind of make sense of the character. Because we don't see a lot of Cho's parents or lineage, right?
Yeah.
England is a big melting pot of different cultures because, surprise, they took over most of the world. So a lot of people went to England, or they brought people over to England to make money, or, they got jobs because it was better, whatever, right? If a Korean person and a Chinese person got married, do you think that one of them is going to name the one after a Korean family member? And guess what? They have the Chinese person's last name.
I mean, yeah.
That's how I got it. When someone said that was racist, I'm like, I mean, kind of. I mean, I can see why you say that. I'm not invalidating anyone's feelings that they say that's racist. I'm just thinking how I read it was, she half Korean, half Chinese? Because that was how I read it.
Yeah.
I thought she was half Korean, half
Chinese.
And
I mean, we're not ones to really speak on if that's racist or not because we're not in that group.
Also, exactly, too. But like I'm saying, like that's how I read it. So I didn't immediately think racism.
Yeah.
But I can see it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of people need to be is I didn't read it that way, but I can see it. And I understand where you're coming from. So I get why you're upset. I'm not going to be third party offended, but I get it.
Yeah.
Or I don't. I mean, I understand, but I don't get it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, in South Park. Token, you're right. I get it. I finally get it. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah. I understand that I don't fucking understand what you went through. That's just all you need to say.
Yeah. But like that because that's honestly how I read it. And a lot of people were getting third party offended. And I'm like, look, you're white, I'm white, we have no room to say this is racist or not. This one girl who did a slam poetry about it, she's got room to say it's racist because she's Korean.
Yeah.
Do I Is that how I read it? No. Is it intentional? I'm hoping it's not, and I'm hoping it's just a really dumb decision,
Yeah.
like the green gults thing, because that could also be societal. Like she didn't know better; it was just born
Yeah.
out of ignorance.
She's also copied her work from a lot of other things.
Yeah, but tell me what's 100% original this day and age.
Yeah, you know you're right. But also the fucking I can't remember the name of the series, but it's super fucking similar to this really small series that never really took off. Same number of books, same premise.
Yeah, same basic character description: scraggly brown hair, round glasses, boy wizard, prophet.
Like, why the fuck? Ew. I just hate it when people take clout for things other people did first.
Yeah. Elvis.
Yeah. Exactly. Fucking Elvis.
No, but here's what I think is funny, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna go in that route, right? Take Star Wars. The original trilogy, at least.
Yeah.
Star Wars, very hero's journey, right? Lightsaber, Excalibur.
Yeah.
Young boy loses the only relatives that helped raise them.
Yeah.
Goes on a hero's journey to help save the world from an evil tyrant. King Arthur reclaiming the crown of England to go against Moriarty. But here's a twist. When you throw in that Darth Vader, his father, it becomes fucking Space Hamlet.
Jesus Christ, Jesus. Holy shit.
And I go back to what nothing's fucking 100% original anymore. Even the books I'm writing are not 100% original. Are you kidding me? Like my webcomic. It's a love... It's a polytriad, but you can still say it's a love triangle between a vampire, a werewolf, and a human.
Yeah, how many times of that has that been done?
Except mine are lesbians.
Yeah. And it's not all fucking straight and penis envy.
Nah. Or
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. No, but here, we'll even go talk about Twilight. We'll even talk about Twilight. Fucking Stephenie Meyer grew up in a Mormon faith. Twilight takes a lot of inspiration from basically Mormonism.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parallels between Mormonism and Twilight.
Yeah, you're right. It's weird. It's so weird.
Hell, Dragon Ball Z's got influences on a lot of modern shonen anime. But going back to the J.K. Rowling thing.
Oh my gosh.
The whole thing that started this is I really, 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 really want to buy the new game.
Yeah, I know it's up for pre-order already. And I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to figure out how long it's going to take. I give it a week before somebody has that file dumped online and you can emulate it.
I really want to play it.
I really want to just emulate it so she doesn't get any more of my fucking money.
But here's the thing that I thought was interesting is when I saw someone shared it on the transgender shitposting group I'm in.
Yeah.
Someone commented the sheer privilege that you must have to separate the art from the artist. I was like,
God damn.
Fuck. Because, and it's true, sometimes you don't have a choice. It is a privilege to be able to separate the art from the artist. Because think about it. Take Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, God, yeah.
Really great book. Fucking written by a pedophile.
Yeah.
Anything by H.P. Lovecraft. Written by a fucking racist.
Yeah.
Take anything by Charlie Chaplin. Groomer.
Jesus
Christ. Now you can... Now, some people are getting pissed, like, oh, look at all these trans women being a simulationist and basically defending J.K. Rowling. And I'm like, hey, I learned a new word today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, simulationist. Basically, it is in terms when someone who is in a minority is the context of how this was used. This word was used is basically when someone who was in part of a minority, basically joining the majority and putting down parts of that minority.
Oh, Jesus.
Case in point, gay men bashing trans women.
Oh, fuck. That shit.
Or gay women gatekeeping trans, or trans women gatekeeping other trans women.
Fuck.
Or, saying you have to have gender dysphoria or all this other shit. Or, oh, it's a medical issue and we can't control it. And I'm like, hey, how I just go fuck yourself and let me be me. Okay? Or trans women saying non-binary people don't exist. Trans men and women saying non-binary people don't exist. Like all that shit.
All the trans people saying that I don't fucking exist. And all that bullshit.
Or one of my favorite examples is just people of color as Republicans.
Yeah. The fuck?
I really wish we were on video right now. Just from the weird gestures I'm making.
So many weird gestures, and I wish I could describe them all to everybody who can't actually see your face. Holy shit.
But yeah, it's the whole, like, I really want to play it.
Yeah.
And...
Well, I used to play the mobile game, and then I stopped because I felt shitty because she's shit.
Yeah.
I like wearing that hoodie you bought me. I kind of feel bad wearing it because she's shit.
Yeah.
But I like being a Hufflepuff, but I hate the fact that she's a piece of shit.
But here's at the same time, she does some good stuff, though, because Lumos does do a lot of good things. It's just this very specific situation, she's very bad.
She couldn't just let her legacy live on and be a good fucking person. She had to fucking ruin it, didn't she?
Yeah.
God damn it.
And I'm not saying J.K. Rowling's like the best person ever. She's very far from it.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is the people who do good can also be really shit people. Like, take it point, in this way. You have a dictator, takes really good care of his people. Make sure they're all fed. Make sure they have clean water. But all the enemies he captures and everything, for the reason why their country has good food, good water, it's slave labor.
Yeah.
People who are being taken care of think this is great, but the people who are enslaved think this is shit. And you know what? The guy who's running it is an asshole, but he's doing good with it, but he's still an asshole.
Yeah.
It's still slave labor.
Yeah.
And this is why the world's so fucking complicated.
A rose is a rose if not by any other name. Ha ha.
I think I got the title. This shit's fucking complicated.
Yep, this shit's fucking complicated. This is a long one too, folks. We're just fucking off there.
But like, it's hard.
Yeah.
I really want to play the game. I haven't bought anything. Like, I really want to see Turning Red, but I haven't yet.
Yeah. I just fucking...
And it's really hard to like try staying away from certain companies with like how they're running everything, because a lot of them control a lot of different stuff.
Disney owns so
ESPN,
much.
National Geographic, the Discovery Channel, fucking
Paramount Pictures, fucking
ABC, which is now Freeform. I think NBC, Fox.
Yeah, they own everything.
And then you have like the whole like Kellogg's, strike, and we try staying away from Nestle as much as we fucking can, with the whole like shit of like fucking the baby formula and shit.
Yeah, God, fuck them.
And poisoning people and fighting for basically water's not a human right, and we want to charge people for bottling something that comes from nature.
And we're gonna make it necessary. Wait till you're done. So cute. Anyway, we're gonna make it necessary. We're gonna make you think it's necessary to buy something that your body naturally makes for this baby until you're to the point where you don't make it anymore, and then we're gonna jack the price up so you can't afford it, and you have no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bullshit.
It is. Title of the episode: The world sucks and shit's complicated.
Yes. The world sucks and shit is complicated.
I don't have anything else to say. We're at like an hour and 20 minutes.
And you thought this was going to be a short episode, didn't you? Weren't you?
I know. I said I only had 2 topics. You thought it was going to be a short episut, and then I said, well, you know what we can do is just have extra time. We'll talk about a topic or two, and then we'll go on fucking rant and tirade and go overtime like we normally do.
And look at us, we did it.
Well, actually, let me get back to the mic. Once again, my name is Raven. I use she, her pronouns.
My name's Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.